Good morning, nation. Friday, January 14th. I said January, Marty. I had some problems with my mouse here this morning. It wasn't working. It wasn't
Come on,
working.
man. Can't start Friday off like that, Keith.
I was just going to say, Friday, the mouse is taking the day off. Hey, we got Jason Voorhees joining us in the lab today. Yeah, Brad Voorhees and his neighbor Mike Myers. We are revisiting 1980 today. Slasher films all over the place, but Brad Voorhees is joining us from somewhere across the United States. Brad, where you? We just lost Brad. Brad's video just went out sideways there. That's okay. We'll bring Brad in a second. We got Marty though. We got MartyFit. We got myself, Mr. Keith Bilous. Brad, your video went out on your vertical stream. That is okay. And so we're here to kick off the chitter chatter, get out her, and Marty, we got Sravina joining us here first thing this morning already. Wow, she is on the ball, man. Let's just do this with Sravina.
What's up, Sravina?
Welcome, Sravina, to Mornings in Lab.
Sravina, I just had breakfast. So I'm good today. I'm not hangry. I'm not hangry today, Sravina.
Oh, we got Enzo joining us from the future today as well, which is always good here in the lab. Yeah, so Enzo, I was having some problems with the mouse this morning. It wasn't working. It just wasn't moving on the board. So I think my battery was dead. So I chucked in the old audio and off we go. Speaking of mouse, dude, Marty, you been to New York City before? Brad, you been to New York City?
Yeah, I was born in New York City.
I have, yep.
Dude, I saw a video yesterday with a New York City rat.
Oh yeah.
You see how big those things are?
It's like a possum.
Dude, possum would be like an understatement. It was like a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, just nonchalantly. Yeah.
I mean, I was aware of it. I've seen them, so yeah, it's crazy.
Sravina, she'll cook for you for. Oh, hey, man. She's actually publicly stated, "I'll cook for you for sure."
Can't wait.
It's on the record now, man. It's on the record. It's on the record. Brad.
Good morning.
How are you, man? Where are you joining us from today?
So I am joining from Royal Oak, Michigan, which is in Metro Detroit.
Oh,
the
Detroit!
Suburbs of Detroit. Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Auburn Hills?
So I'm in the same county as Auburn Hills. Auburn Hills is more north. I would say about 20 miles north of where I am, but it's the same county, Oakland County.
Okay.
Cool. Marty, familiar?
Never been there. I just heard of it. I got friends from there, so I've heard all about Michigan. Yep.
So Auburn Hills is isn't it a famous part of Michigan? Like, is it not like the? So why do I know of Auburn Hills, Brad?
So it doesn't really have any claim to fame. The Detroit Pistons, it doesn't have any claim to fame. It's a newer city, when you kind of comparatively, but. I don't know. The Pistons played there at some point. They now play in inner city Detroit, but they used to be played in the Palace of Auburn Hills. So that's where they're at. But other than that, no. There's Chrysler's there, the headquarters of Daimler Chrysler, one of the big three. Okay. So yeah. Other than that, I don't think there's much claim to fame.
And then of course we have the man of Detroit, Marshall Mathers.
That's your guy. Obviously, right.
That's my guy. Exactly. That's exactly Marty.
That's your guy.
Brad, is that your guy too, or not? Or is that a different generation for you?
No. I mean, look, I graduated high school in 2001, and during kind of like that 99 to 2005. That's when Eminem was kind of came onto the scene and got really popular. So certainly during my time, for sure.
Have you been to a spaghetti joint?
I'm sorry?
Have you been to the spaghetti joint? Have you been to M's spaghetti joint in Detroit?
No. Mom's spaghetti. I have not been underground. So,
dude, man, I've spent some time in Detroit. I was there for an M concert in Comerica Park a few years back, and then I decided to walk from. Then I decided to try to walk from Comerica Park to the MGM where I was staying, and it was just one of those moments of Marty, you're like, yeah, it's just over there. like those big ass buildings when you're like, the just over there is actually miles and miles away. It's like when you're in Vegas, they're like, oh yeah, I'll just walk over there. Walking.
Yeah.
You're walking. Yeah. So needless to say, that was a long walk after a concert, after perhaps a few wobbly pops and some other beverages. And it was an interesting experience, Brad, where he's walking from Comerica Park to MGM Hotel.
Detroit is huge. It's a very large city. Like square mileage, I mean, it's really big, but it's, you know, millions of people could live here, but they don't. It's kind of crazy. I mean, they used to back in the 60s and 70s, but now the population is lower. But yeah, it's a really big city. It's spread out.
Yeah, Detroit's on the comeback though. I've been reading some great stories about the billionaires of your city reinvesting in Detroit. Downtown Detroit is economically has never been stronger. I was in Detroit a number of years back as well for business to visit General Motors, and Brad, it was dead. Right, Marty, I was in downtown Detroit, and I have never been in a downtown city that was as desolate and as dead, if I can use that word, as I was when I was in downtown Detroit after kind of the 2008 crisis, Brad, when everything was crashing and Detroit was like, and people were bailing out the big automakers. Yeah, and it was like a ghost town. I couldn't get over it, frankly.
Yeah. But since then, there's a lot of business industry that has gone down there. The problem, though, that still exists is because it's so big. If you go into the downtown area, it's just strips, you know, kind of like this particular street is revitalized, this street is revitalized, and then you go to the third one, and it's like it's still dead, you know, burned down buildings type of thing. So I mean,
yeah.
But they have a lot of work to do. But still, you are absolutely right, Keith. It's been bouncing back, but it's been bouncing back for a long time now. I mean, 15 plus years.
Yeah, that's exceptional. It's exceptional.
And the Lions are good now. The Lions are good, so that'll help the city.
Yeah, that's right. You know,
that'll bring some money in.
I've lived in Michigan my entire life, and we have four. You know, this is a city that has all four of the major sports teams, right? And I can tell you that, you know, in my lifetime, the Lions have never been the best one of the four, but up until now, like the Lions are the best of the four teams in terms of like their respective leagues. So I mean, it's pretty cool to see.
Funny how that works, eh? Funny how that works. Hey, 11 minutes after the hour, myself, CmartyFit, Brad Voorhees, otherwise known as Jason from the Friday the 13th series. Jason's a long-lost relative of Brad. And Marty, the future is commenting on the fact that Sravina, you should be cooking. We should create a cooking stream, like a master chef type thing, and Marty has to eat and rate. You know, Marty, as we're looking to build out our Ted Turnering of our show here, we may want to consider, I know I'm frozen, I'm still here though. We may want to consider creating morning food or morning recipes or morning type content where we feed you and you rate the food.
Let's do it. I love to eat.
Yeah, I get a sense that you like to eat. Yeah, I'm going to reset my camera here. Coming up in a few moments, we have our accountability check-in this morning. Oh, there's that one over there. Let's see if we got this one over here, and then we're gonna. Oh, there's that one. Hey, there's that one over there. I got this behind the scene camera here, and then of course we got coming up. We are absolutely talking about 5 a.m. ultimate morning routine, and it looks like I've had a camera failure, but that's okay. We're gonna keep it going here. Brad, what time do you get up in the morning?
I get up normally at 6:45, so that's during the school day. I have an 8-year-old daughter. She's out of school now, so when she's not in school, it's more like 7:15. I work from my home. You know, I'm in my home office right now, so I wake up at 7:15, grab some coffee, do some reading, and get started. So, but look, it's cool being self-employed, Keith. Like if I want to sleep in, then I'll sleep in too, you know, like it's not that big of a deal, but it really just depends on, you know, the kids, right? When you're a father of like young children, they kind of set the schedule, you know, so that's how it rolls. But it's usually anywhere between 6:45 and 7:30. And that's like Monday through Sunday type of thing, 7 days a week.
Wow. So we're going to get into the 5 a.m. routine. We're going to get up to Marty's routine here in a little bit. I'm going to throw Mark Wahlberg's routine on the table, Marty. I'm going to throw Dwayne "The Rock's" Johnson's routine on the table. I'm going to throw my routine on the table. And I would just, as I've aged, I've recognized the power of that early morning start. And it really is a way to crush the day, man. Like when you get that day started and you crush it first thing in the morning, and those that are tuning in, Marty, right now, that are just kind of getting their day started, you've been up to the gym already. You've probably crushed a few marathons, crushed a few lifts, maybe crushed a bunch of food. You're already on your 4th hour of the day, and people are just getting their days started. There's power to kick that day off early, man. Power. I know when I was a little kid, I was like, Dad, why are you getting up so early? Like, oh, you have no idea yet, son.
They'll understand one day.
They will understand one day. Speaking of dads, it's Father's Day weekend this weekend. Marty, I know it's an aspiration for you of one of your 4 Fs. We talk about fatherhood being one of them. Hey, Brad, Father's Day coming up this weekend. What do you got planned with the family for Father's Day?
Yep. So tomorrow will just be pool day, weather permitting. We'll spend the day at the pool, which will be nice. Get some sun. Take the kids there, and then Sunday morning. So on Father's Day, I've got 18 holes planned with me and my neighbor buddies. So we'll go get a round of golf. We'll go get a round of golfing. Then we'll go to our club and have some lunch. And tomorrow I'm picking up a T-bone steak from my grocery store here in Royal Oak. And my parents are coming over on Sunday night, and I am going to cook up that T-bone steak. And me and my 69-year-old father are going to eat that steak on Sunday night. So there you go. That's the plan.
That's the best part of the weekend, the steak.
I love that you popped in, Marty, with the comment about the food. You're just listening. The moment steak pops in, they go, oh yeah, I gotta get some steak.
Well, okay. Talk about advertising working, right? Like I have like the rewards program at my local grocery store where I do mainly shopping. And so I get this email 2 days ago, and there's this big picture in my email on my phone of this T-bone steak like this big. And they're like, we're running a Father's Day special on tomahawk steaks. And I'm like, I haven't had a tomahawk steak in a long time. And I called them up. I'm like, I want one of those. Save one of those for me. They're like, yes, we'll save it. So I'm ready. I'm ready to eat my tomahawk steak in 2 days.
You're ready to crush it, are you? What's your favorite cut? You got a favorite cut there, Brad Voorhees?
I like ribeye. I'm a ribeye guy. Yeah. So
me too.
Yeah. I mean, I like them all. I like ribeye, filet, and tomahawk. Those are probably the 3 that I eat. I stay away from New York strip or kind of the others, but there's no doubt ribeye is my favorite. A medium rare, perfectly seasoned ribeye is my steak.
Oh, there you go. Well, I'm getting hungry this morning already. Jeez, we're not even 17 minutes into the show, Marty, and I'm starting to salivate here. I get Sravina talking about food. You guys talking about steak. I got my lifting this morning already, dude. I'm feeling kind of hungry already.
Hey, save it.
Well, there's a lot of health studies that say. I was going to say there's a lot of health studies that say steak is good for you in the morning. So there you go.
That's true too.
That's it. That's exactly. Well, we'll go and work on crushing some steak later today. Should be perhaps the plan for Keith Bilous this morning. But hey, it is Marty. That time in the morning. It's like that sound effect that gets people out of bed. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Brad, it's this time of the day where we like to put the word accountability on the table, where we like to encourage Business Athlete Nation to think about their day, think about what's holding them accountable, think about what's moving them forward. And today's accountability check-in is about, Marty, why wake up early? I know it's more about product. It's about more than productivity. And here's why waking up early works for me. I get that bonus cup of coffee. I get peak creativity. The brain's just going, just boom, 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 boom. The neutrons are firing in the brain. Early hours mean a distraction-free brain. Perfect for creative breakthroughs. Now, I know some of you are night hawks, some of you are morning hawks. But that morning when the sun's coming up and people are still sleeping and it's quiet, the birds are chirping. Hey, Marty, the birds were chirping yesterday with Joe Malone.
They were. It was cool. It gave a good effect to the podcast.
It absolutely that post show audio with Joe Malone there just chirping away. It was spectacular. But early mornings mean a distraction free brain, perfect for creative breakthroughs. Brad, mindfulness. Dawn brings the calm, right? You can use that dawn for reflection and setting the mental tone for the day. Health. Your health is going to be better if you wake up early. Anecdotally or scientifically, it's going to help. Morning workouts boost your mood and energize you for the day ahead. And here's something I always like to think about, and I always offer this up to my kids, to anybody in my circle. Marty, Brad, I always say that if you do nothing for the rest of the day, but you got your workout in, I don't suspect you're ever going to find yourself complaining about the fact that on your deathbed one day going, I got to work early that one Friday. No, actually, you got your workout in. Maybe you'll live a day extra longer because you got out of bed and got into the gym, right? So I'm a big fan of, if you do nothing for the rest of the day, but you've taken care of yourself, CmartyFit, Brad Verhees, does anything else matter?
Yep.
Like, nothing else matters. So get your ass out of bed. Don't hit the snooze. Get into the gym. Get into the mirror. Take care of yourself. And then if nothing else happens for the rest of the day, you've already won the day and you've already succeeded. Like, there's nothing complicated about that in my point of view. So, mornings are yours. It's time for personal growth. Read, learn, work on a passion project, have that coffee, read the news, come check out CmartyFit, Keith, Brad Verhees here in the morning. In the morning, you have that sense of control before the day gets ahead of you, right? In my point of view, by the time it becomes 9, 10 o'clock, your day is becoming everybody else's day and not your own day. There's something magical with getting things done earlier. Looking down at your task list, Brad, by 7 o'clock, going, holy smokes, I got this done, I got this done, I got this done. The most important thing I got done is I got taken care of myself, right? Waking up early, Marty, builds self-discipline. We talked yesterday with Joe Malone about self-discipline. I'm suspecting, Marty, Joe Malone's not getting out of bed at 10:30.
Probably not.
He's probably not rolling out of bed at 11 o'clock, right? So waking up early builds self-discipline, and it's the start of great habits. So, nation, as you're waking up and starting your day today, do you agree with myself, CmartyFit? Do you agree that getting up early is a good start to your day? Or are you one of those folks that like to start a little later in the day, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, and then work your day later? That's the conversation topic of the day. The 5 a.m., the ultimate 5 a.m. start is what we're starting our morning off here with our accountability check-in. Boom, boom. All right, Friday, June 14th, Father's Day weekend, accountability check-ins out of the way. Marty, if we are ready, we can bring up the fitness check-in in about 10 or 12 minutes or so, if you got it next to you. I know Jimmy sent it over. We can throw that up there for a topic in about, we'll go about 12 minutes from now. We'll check it in there. But
we'll check if it's there. Yeah,
before we get into the 5 a.m. ultimate workout, I thought we could get to know Brad a little bit. So, Brad, you and I, we met in the Brown Belt community, and I thought we could take a few moments today getting to know who's Brad Verhees.
Sure. So outside of my night job as a slasher, relative of a slasher, and kind of doing that thing on the side. But again, that's only my night job, and I've got the setting's got to be right too. I got to be at like an abandoned lake house. There's got to be teenagers there. Okay. There's got like, you ever look out into a lake and there's just mist, during the day, there's never mist on a lake, Keith, right? Am I right?
Yo, you've
got lakes up in Canada, but there's only mist on a lake at nighttime. And the moonlight's got to be right, baby. Okay? It's got to be a full moon. So the moonlight's got to be reflecting on the lake. That is when my night job takes over. Okay? So that's a little bit about me. But my day job, I'm just a normal guy.
To those of you that are wondering, we have a very famous slasher on the show today. His name is Jason Verhees, and he's joining us here all the way from Detroit, Michigan. So when Brad is not busy recruiting people, in HR, we see Brad here wandering the mists of the lakes with he's hung out with Freddy Krueger, he's hung out with Mike Myers,
Right.
the stuntman Kane Hodder, famous stuntman. He played Brad for many, many years, and then Brad woke up one day and he's like, family, I don't think it's best that I continue being a slasher. I think it's best that I probably move into HR. So Brad, you told me privately you decided to chuck the hockey mask away, and you decided to become Brad Voorhees.
Yeah, I know. And sometimes when I'm dealing with sticky employment situations,
yes,
right? That inner Jason wants to come out. Let me tell you right now. Okay,
I love it.
I haven't it wants to come out, Keith. See, Marty, I'm telling you. All right. So, all right. But my day job, again, I'm just a normal guy, right? Like, I have a wife, I have 2 kids, I got 2 cats. I live in Royal Oak, Michigan. I eat steak with my dad on Father's Day. I go golfing, all the normal stuff. You can see I watch baseball in the back. The big fan of the Atlanta Braves. But I'm born and raised here in Metro Detroit, so I didn't go far. In fact, Royal Oak is the city I've lived in essentially my entire life. Like my parents still live here. But what I do professionally, Scale TX. So I advise small businesses with 30 to 150 employees. That's my sweet spot. So a small business with 30 to 150 employees that have people-related challenges, and let's admit it, all here together, there are no problems like people problems when it comes to business, right? People problems are the worst because people inherently bring in their problems to work. That's what they do. I do it. Everybody does it. People inherently bring their problems to work. So I work with businesses that have, in fact, HR challenges, but they don't have anybody in-house to solve those challenges. And for a business with 30 to 150 employees, that's the sweet spot of usually they have not made the jump to bring on a full-time in-house HR person. And so those are the businesses that I help advise. That's what I do at Scale TX.
Interesting. Marty, question for Brad.
Yeah, do you have like a sector of businesses you work with the most? Maybe.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yep, I do. Manufacturing, technology, and service-based industries. So I will work with any industry, but those are the 3 that just most of my experience is in. Which is like weird when you think about it, because there's tech, and everybody thinks of, when they think about tech, they think of like, well, what, they've kind of set the tone on talent experience and culture, and nobody was talking about core values before tech companies were. But then you have like manufacturing companies and service-based companies, and truthfully, I like advising those companies more than technology companies. Because
why is that, Brad?
Because the blue collar worker, those are the workers that have been forgotten, right? And when you think about like HR and doing things the right way and crafting a talent experience, you'd never think about like the 60-person warehouse company that's down the street, right? That's like a family-owned business that maybe is on 2nd generation. It's 60 years old, and it's got 70, 80 employees. You never think about, oh, they must be like an employer of choice down there, right? And those owners are struggling, and they've never had any HR assistants, or their office managers also their HR manager, which they're unqualified for to do, or their executive assistant. But they need HR help. I love helping companies like that. Growing up here in Michigan, in Metro Detroit, of course, my first HR job was for an automotive manufacturing plant, because that's what we do here. We build cars, right? That's what Michigan, of course, is famous for. That's our industry. We build cars. So that's where I started, was an automotive manufacturing plant, walking the plant floor 7 days a week, 3-shift operation, So if you want to talk about morning routine, one day a week, I would get up at 2 a.m. and go hang out with the third shift people and finish my day around noon or 1 o'clock, because otherwise I would never have seen the third shift because they worked from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. So, but I knew it was important to have FaceTime with those individuals. So that's the reason. It's kind of just like the forgotten. It's just kind of like the forgotten workforce, is the blue collar worker. I just love helping them.
Yeah, Brad, I didn't know that you had that background, and the fact that we, our show today is around the 5 a.m. routine or the early morning start. The fact that you spent part of your career in that overnight shift speaks to this whole idea of people like those unsung heroes that are either working shift work between midnight and 6 a.m. or those that are getting up in the middle of the night. And like you said, it's in the olden days, it was typically the blue collar workers, wasn't it, Brad?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
The factories and manufacturing plants and facilities, right? So,
right.
Brad,
yep.
I know, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, so that's what I do at Scale TX, is I work with businesses around the country for that.
Excellent. Brad, what's the role? How's the role of HR changing as we're moving into 2024, an AI generated world? Bots and humans are being questioned about their value because we can just get Chat GPT, et cetera, et cetera. There's all this talk about personal brands and maybe the reevaluation of what a resume or what a CV is. Brad, talk about this idea of HR in 2024 and even up to 2030. How's your discipline changing?
You know what? I'm gonna rewind it back just a couple of years, and I'll tell you this is that the last 4 years, HR has changed so much across corporate America, and this is the world that we're living in right now. And I only see it becoming more important. Let me tell you why. So my peers, my colleagues, we've had a history over the last several decades of screaming from the mountaintops, saying we want a seat at the table. HR was the role that, like, hey, you guys were just back office administrators. You enforce policies. When somebody was in trouble, that's when you saw HR, right? That type of thing. But there was no CHRO, Chief Human Resources Officer. There was no CPO, Chief People Officer, right? And like, we reported to finance for the longest time. And we screamed at the rooftops, we want a seat at the table. And then something happened in 2020 that changed the game forever. COVID changed the game forever for our field, because all of a sudden there were people problems like businesses had never seen before. There was just the ever-changing landscape of policy and guidance on COVID-19. CEOs weren't going to their CFOs for advice on that. CEOs weren't going to their marketing officers for advice on that. They were going to their HR professionals. And over the last 4 years, the CHRO became a top 5 growing new C-suite position. All of a sudden, all these companies started elevating HR to the top of their organization, which is fantastic, because not only, of course, where there's guidance that we don't necessarily have to deal with anymore from a policy standpoint, but let's face it, COVID messed up a lot of people, right? Just mentally, it messed up in the world of work. Changed so much because of COVID-19. We immediately dispersed teams. People went remote, and so again, CEOs weren't looking at anybody else but their HR department to solve these challenges. So now we've been thrust into the spotlight. And you know what is so funny? It's not funny, it's sad. But it's ironic that here we were screaming from the rooftop to be have a seat at the table and finally get our place. And now HR is now one of the number one fields that people are dropping out of because of the pressure that this new world, this new reality has put on HR professionals. HR professionals have to be guidance counselors now. because people, again, they bring in their issues to work, and there's nobody else besides the HR person that's taking on these issues. And that's why we're seeing a lot of people drop out. So that's the world that we live in now. How that's changing moving forward. I use AI in my consulting practice all the time. And look, I deal with small business employers. So I mean they don't have expensive AI tools, right? They have the freebies. But you can do a lot of stuff with the freebies as well, right? And so, there's been a really growing kind of push for AI, for HR to use AI a lot more. In fact, I have a magazine right here. I'll even plug it. The HR magazine. I know it sounds super cool. This is what you want to read at 5 in the morning, everybody. Is HR magazine, okay? Like if you want to get your morning starting, this is the hot stuff right here. Hot off the press, baby. Is HR magazine. 5 a.m. The birds, the coffee, and HR magazine. But this issue is specifically about how HR.
Nope.
Right after a night of slashing, this is what you want to do. Okay. So, but this entire issue is about how my field is using AI. So just like a lot of other industries and fields, of course, we're going to use AI more and more and more. Learning and development programs, talent acquisition, people analytics, all of that stuff is going to just become, the next generation of HR professionals will have to use that to move forward, especially if we see people leaving the field. You're going to have to use tools to modernize your department and make it more efficient.
Yes. Yeah, the world of AI is changing everything around us. Brad Voorhees joining us from Detroit, HR specialist, HR pro. As we're here this mornings in the lab, going to get into the CmartyFit tip, a brand new segment we're going to introduce here on the show, where we are going to take something into CMarty's head. Yeah, oh yeah, that smart brain of his. Exactly. And we're going to pull it out, and we're going to share it with you, nation, to get your ass moving. Yes, I said the Jack AASS word this morning in the lab. Hey, children, it's
Come on, Keith. Come on, man. It's early.
It's a donkey, man. It's a donkey. When you go to lab, there's just donkeys. They don't have cars. There's donkeys everywhere. There's Jacks everywhere. But Marty, let's. So we are introducing a brand new segment to the show, Business Athlete Nation, and it's this idea of a fit tip. Something to keep your mind going to start your day. Something you maybe didn't know about, something that'll get you moving, something that maybe hold you accountable. So Marty, today's fit tip from you is, and I'm going to get a sound effect for you today, pal, but not today.
Oh,
what is our, okay, hold on. Let's see what comes here, because I got some stuff. Maybe this one works here. Oh, not that one. Oh,
okay.
There we go.
A little bit.
There we go. This is what do you think of from Brad Voorhees? Hey, Brad, would you go kill people with this song as you're at the Jason mask on?
What?
There's not enough.
What kind of question is that?
Listen, Keith, there's not enough echo to it. Okay, there has to be more echo, my man.
Oh, that's it. All right, Marty, over to you, my friend, with the CmartyFit tip of the day. Marty, what's your fit tip of the day today, pal?
All right, set the tone for success with an early workout. All right, so I'll tell you why I like an early workout. One, boost the energy. Morning exercise jumpstarts your metabolism, giving you the energy to last all day. It's going to enhance your mood, release endorphins, reduce stress, and improve your mood. Improve your focus, enhance mental clarity. That's what that cardio does. Helping you stay sharp and focused. Build discipline, of course, cultivates a habit of discipline and consistency. And it also builds discipline because you got to take your butt to bed at night. Put your phone down, turn the TV off, and stop watching Netflix, turn the sports off. The Mavericks probably going to lose the finals. Turn it off, go to bed so you can go to the workout in the morning. Increase your productivity. A morning workout can make you more productive, tackling tasks with greater efficiency. And you also have more time in the day to get stuff done, right? So you're not waking up at 8 o'clock talking about you ain't have time to eat breakfast because you had to rush to work. If you got up early and got your workout out the way, you could have got breakfast in and now we're at work with our stomach full, right? You're not complaining about being hungry, and then you're not gonna go to Chick-fil-A for lunch because you had you had breakfast, right? And you're not gonna rush to eat something that's not on your meal plan and make your trainer mad, or something that's gonna make your accountability partner mad. And then that's it. So it's they have plenty of studies basically proving why morning workouts are the best. But some people like myself that have to get up super early for work, you might have to get your workout midday or the afternoon. But whenever you get a chance, get that early morning workout in, to get those benefits, everything I just mentioned, and you won't regret it.
That's it. That's our CmartyFit tip to get your day going with a little bit of music and adrenaline to get that energy moving first thing.
I like this. I like that. I like that one.
This is the one we're going to use. And hey, Marty, Lauren jumped in with a comment that I think you can appreciate. Have to start from the night before, Marty, because those 5 a.m. workouts only work and are good for the body and mind if you are in bed early enough. And if you're, like you said, if you're watching those Mavs late at night lose,
just turn it off. They're going to lose.
Just turn it off.
They're done. Just turn it off. I'm not even watching I'm not. Yeah.
What's your advice to me who has a night job and I've got this whole thing from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. right? Like I'm out at night and doing my thing, slashing.
Slashing. No, so I kind of touched on it.
You're out there busy slashing. Brad Voorhees wandering around the Auburn Hills of Detroit, Michigan, slashing all the teens of Michigan there, Voorhees. And Lauren also comments, and she's so right. No one ever regrets an early morning wake up and workout. Like Marty, do you know anybody that you've trained?
Hold on. Let me answer his question real quick. No, I just mentioned it because even myself, I get up at like 3 something, so I'm not working out because I have to train early. But sometimes we have to. You just got to fit it in where you can. But anytime you get a chance to do an early morning workout, I do encourage it. But obviously, with a schedule like yours, you're probably not working out at 5:30 after your night shift. So just get it in when you can. But there are a lot of people who can get up at maybe 6 instead of waking up at 8 right before work. Rolling out of bed and working at home, you can get up and get your workout in, and to be more productive, get more mental clarity. Everything I just mentioned in the fit tip.
It's exactly. And Lauren talks about, she's right. No one ever regrets getting up early to get your workout in, right? And and Brad, you are the absolute exception. Yes. So when you're all busy flashing, hanging out with Freddie and the gang there, and Mike and that whole crew from the 80s, Brad just maybe just set the snooze a little later in the day.
Yeah. Right. For any other slashers out there.
Yeah. All right, so we teased the show on the ultimate 5 a.m. workout routine, and I wanted to put something on the table as we wrap the week up, especially on Father's Day. Why you want to get up? What's the scientific benefits of it? And let's talk about. Let's look at some of the people and famous pop culture guys that get up early and start the days early. Marty, you talked about what time do you get up, Marty? 3 o'clock, 3:30.
3:30.
3:30. And what time is your first client see you at?
5, usually 5. Sometimes I have an earlier client, so I'll get up a little earlier, but it's usually 5.
Yeah. So, Dwayne The Rock Johnson wakes up at 3:30. He starts his morning routine with a light cardio workout. He crushed his first meal of the day. He eats 5 to 7 meals throughout the day, totaling around 3,000 calories. Breakfast typically includes steak, Brad Voorhees. There we go. Oatmeal. Meals are prepped in advance, ensuring he hits his macros perfectly. He does some morning gratitude. He does a midday workout, and then strict diet throughout the day, occasional cheat meals. Somebody else who's famous for the pre-5 a.m. workout, guys, is old Mark Wahlberg. Now, he has adjusted his routines recently as he's talked about aging, but for the longest time, guys, he was a wake up at 2:30 a.m. kind of human being.
Yeah.
2:30, getting up at 2:30, crushing your workout, getting it done by 5 o'clock and getting your day on. Now, I've often thought, Marty, that because Mark was over on the West Coast at 2:30 time zones, 4:30 East Coast, allow you to maximize your day with North America. But man, 2:30 wake up is incredible to me to get your day going. Never mind 5.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, so
What time was he going to bed?
well, isn't that true? So apparently 7 o'clock, right? So
Well, that's why. That
becomes a sacrifice, isn't it, Brad? Right? Especially if you have children, right, Brad? You know, you're like, okay, but I want to hang out with my kids at night. It's difficult to hang out with the kids from 7 to 9 if I'm sleeping at 7 o'clock and I got to get up at 2 a.m. So it's really picking your choices and picking your battles, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, my kids go to bed between 8 and 9. You know, so I'm not gonna get them on the 2:30 a.m. workout schedule with me, so their sleep schedule can align. But yeah, and so that would be really hard for anybody with kids going to bed at 7 o'clock. I couldn't even imagine. How did the sun would keep me up, you know, like everybody's still outside doing stuff at 7 p.m.
Yeah,
it's true. We got Lauren popping into it. Yeah, if scrolling keeps you up at night, then you don't have an excuse. So get off the phone and get stopped at scrolling.
And you know what, Lauren? That's the excuse most people use. Like they're like, oh yeah, I'm a night owl, and it's like you know you're not being productive at night. Come on, man.
Right.
And you ask them about the latest Netflix show or the latest HBO show or Stars, then they saw every episode. So no, you're not a night owl. You're an entertainment owl. That's what you are. Go to bed.
I need to increase the Marty's opinion segments. I think as the show goes on, we want to increase some of the segments which really instill Marty's opinion. Because
I might throw some people off.
Yeah, no, it's good. We'll get more. Enzo jumping in with I dozed off. Enzo, what are you doing, man? In the future, you got to get rolling here on a Friday, man. And yes,
nope.
That's exactly it. Hey, so what's the science behind the 5 a.m. workout, guys? Like, what's the science behind getting your butt going first thing in the morning? Well, let's talk about it. So wake up. According to Sleep. Let's try that again, gentlemen. Is it sleep?
What's going on, OG? What's going? I need to call OGG. I need to call OGG.
That's it. According to sleep experts, maintaining consistent wake up times helps regulate that circadian rhythm, leading to better overall sleep quality. And Marty, I think over the coming weeks here, I want to spend some more time talking about sleep and the value of sleep. But this morning, so my alarm goes up at 4:50 every single day. This morning, Marty, 4:45, I was boom, eyes were open. I was like, oh. My body woke me up, not even an alarm, and I was about to hit the snooze, Marty, and then I saw your face in my head. I was like, nope.
That's why I do what I do, Keith.
Yeah, I was like, nope, I'm going to get out of bed. Nope. Yeah, exactly it. So I got my ass going and got myself out of bed. And then the science also talks about it. And Joe Malone talked about this yesterday. And Enzo, the future's popping in. Yes, Saturday morning. Enzo talks about wake up, crawl into the shower, wake up a second time, run, workout cycle, shower again. Yeah, I can relate to that. But the science talks about, and Joe Malone talked about it yesterday, Marty and Brad, which is studies show that drinking water can increase your metabolism by up to 30% for the first 30, 40 minutes of your day. Marty, I know you crush your gallon of water every single day. I know Malone crushes water first thing in the morning. I don't do as good a job as crushing the water first thing in the morning. I tend to move to the coffee cup. But since we've been talking about this, I've been shifting my awareness. But starting the day with water, that first 30 minutes is going to help your body get that metabolism going. And Marty, you jump into water all the time, don't you?
Oh yeah, always keep my gallon.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You know what else helps me?
Tell me.
Metabolism. This is gonna sound crazy.
Uh-oh.
But it's gonna sound crazy. I'll knock out 20 push-ups. Like I'll be, whether I'm training or whether I'm even in the house doing stuff on the computer, like I'll just get up, knock out 20 push-ups. Because especially when I'm in the house and I feel like I'm not burning as many calories or I'm feeling a little sedentary, just knock out 20.
Well, this is fantastic, Marty, because fourth on the list from science is that move your body, right? So science suggests exercise increases the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which improve mood and focus. So, Marty, first three things: don't hit your snooze, get out of bed, boom. Hydrate, boom. Move your body, boom. You've got those three right off the list right away. So if people are looking for an accountability coach to do the things the right way or right off the bat, Marty's going to hold you accountable, right?
Yep.
Brad, the next one is meditating. Science talks about that meditation has been shown to reduce cortisol levels, the stress hormone, and increase gray matter in the brain, which is associated with memory and learning. And we talk about those quiet moments in the morning, Brad. And I know that after you've, wandered through the night and added a few trophies to the shelf, I'm sure you sit back and you reflect upon those moments of the arm movements, right? Just reflecting upon the meditation of that, Brad.
Absolutely. I can tell you this morning, I was so geeked up for this recording, right? I came downstairs. I've got a beautiful big window right in my living room that looks out into my street. I love it. I've got the chair. My indent in the chair is there because everybody knows it's my chair. I grabbed some coffee, my man, and then I prayed. And I tell you, I love it. So some people pray, some people meditate, but I think we're talking about the same thing in terms of a time of quietness, right? I think that's kind of the point of this. Quietness, reflection. I did some reading. I closed my eyes. It was fantastic. And look, I had to ask for forgiveness from what I did last night. I did add some trophies to so like that was a lot, right? So there was a lot I had to ask for forgiveness for. But keep in mind, there is something about doing that in the morning. I know, and truth be told, I know that I always feel better going out throughout my day if I took that time in the morning to pray. And for some people else, it's meditate. But either way, I always have a greater day when I do that in the morning, 100%.
Yeah, that's exceptional, Brad. I'm thank you for sharing with us that moment in your day. So whether it is praying and reaching into faith or meditating, it's just this idea of pausing, slowing down, and creating awareness, right? And then Brad and CMarty, I'm suspecting you both are good at this, which is then science also suggests that writing down your goals first thing in the morning increases the likelihood of achieving them, Marty, by 42%. And Brad, as I know you're planning your day and planning your next night about where you're going to go and haunt and stalk whatever lake around Michigan, I know it's important to plan your day, right?
It is. Yeah, it is. I know, obviously I've got meetings scheduled, right? So that's already part of the plan is I have meetings scheduled throughout the day. And then I also have my goals. And it's usually building up my pipeline, right? There's specific things that I want to do. How many people can I get to sign up for my email course? Who do I need to call? What prospects do I need to call to follow up with? And then, of course, I have time blocked on my calendar Monday through Friday for client-based work, where it's just time where I'm not doing the business development side, but I'm actually doing work for my clients. And those are goals too, right? There are goals, there's things that I have to do. So, but as we know, like there's stuff that comes up that throws it out. Like my wife came down with COVID yesterday, and she has been like bedridden essentially for the last day plus. And I've got 2 young kids. And so now a lot of those responsibilities are on me. So there are things that throw that into kind of the mix, but you have to be adaptable. You have to be able to move around and shift.
It's true. Next on the list, Marty, of science supporting getting up for the ultimate 5 a.m. routine. Marty, eat a healthy breakfast. Eating a balanced breakfast with protein, steak, healthy fats, and fiber stabilizes blood sugar levels and provides sustained energy. Or if you're my little Brookie, she'll probably crush a steak with some avocado toast and some tomatoes. Marty and
Brooks a beast, man.
Brooks is a beast. Hey, I got to get a 3rd job just to feed her breakfast.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know she eats like that.
Well, I say that tongue in cheek and jokingly, but Brad, my little one, Brooks, she just crushes all the good food. So when I look at science eating a balanced breakfast or, balanced dinner, it's like, yeah, I'll have steak and lobster. I don't want the mac and cheese. Okay. but go ahead, Marty.
I was about to say, so you're telling me Dunkin' Donuts and 500 calorie coffee from Starbucks isn't going to get your day started?
That's not going to get the day started.
Oh man, I'm mad now.
That's exactly it. So, Marty, what you just said, there's somebody listening right now that's starting their day. They're getting in the car, they're getting in the truck, maybe they're moving from station to station, and they're considering stopping at Dunkin' Donuts. They're considering stopping somewhere for a sweet, refreshed drink in the morning, and you are saying, what? Nope. That's exactly
Don't do it.
Don't do
You know
it.
what though? It actually is tricky to get fast food breakfast that's healthy. So you're probably better off making your own or bringing your own. And if you got to get coffee, try to limit the sugar. It's best to get straight black, but limit the sugar and cream. You just do a little bit if you absolutely have to.
Yeah. Marty, that's probably a good topic, Marty, isn't it? Like healthy breakfast choices, right?
It's a great topic.
Or try to help Nation with healthy fast food breakfast choices, right? Because when Brad leaves the house in the morning to go do his midnight job, I'm sure he's having struggles finding that good food along the way.
The slasher,
exactly.
You can't eat a sluggish breakfast if you're slashing all night, Brad. Come on, man.
No.
Well, I'm a walker. I don't run after my victims. I can just walk, and magically
that's a good point.
3 miles. They could be 3 miles ahead of me, and I would just still be walking, and then they'll turn around and I'm right there. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
It's a good point. That's a good point.
That is the ultimate slasher. Walks towards his victims. And hey, last but not least on our ultimate 5 a.m. morning workout as we work towards wrapping up the Friday morning show that is off the rails already with our favorite slasher, Brad Voorhees. Personal development, gentlemen. Science tells us this. And this is an obvious one, but I think sometimes the obvious ones are the ones we most often forget or pay the least attention to. Marty, science. Lifelong learning can improve brain plasticity and delay cognitive decline. Consistency is key. When you start your day before 5 a.m. regularly, I'm going to suggest to you, you're going to win the morning, you're going to win the day more often than not. So let's just quickly wrap it up. Get up early. Don't hit the snooze. For the ultimate 5 a.m. wake up, no snooze. Science says get yourself going. Hydrate. Grab that glass of water. You are going to increase your metabolism by up to 30% for those first 30, 40 minutes of your day. Move your body, as Marty does. Do some push-ups. Do a stretch, right? Meditate. Brad gets downstairs and gets into his spiritual self. So whether it's praying or whether it's, reaching into the awareness of meditation, but spend some time to slow down. Plan your day. If you write down your goals, you're going to increase the likelihood of achieving those goals by 42%. And Marty, if they come on their show and declare them publicly, statistics show you're going to increase your chances of hitting those goals by over 70%. So if you want to write them down in private, write them down. 42% chance of succeeding them. Come on the show with myself and CmartyFit. You're going to increase those chances almost 70% of hitting those goals. Plan the day. Eat a healthy breakfast. Start yourself with some steak, some protein. And last but not least, guys, learn. Read. Improve that brain plasticity by opening up those neurotransmitters to learning. That's the best way to start your day. It seems like common sense, gentlemen, but we often know that the most common of sense is the hardest thing for most of us to do. So team, as you start your week next week, consider our conversations today. Don't hit the snooze button. Start for 4:55. Start for 4:57. Marty's up at 3:30. I'm at 4:50. Can you beat us? Brad, the weekend is here. Father's Day is around the corner. As we wrap up and say goodbye, I appreciate you joining us here today on the show. Any final words before we say goodbye? We got Enzo joining in with, I thought that was milk for a second, Marty. That's it. And as
come on, Enzo. Come on, man. Don't play with me like that, man.
That's it. That's absolutely it. We are wrapping up our week. We are midway through January. It's January 14th. When we come back next Monday, it is going to be 14th, 15th, 17th. We got 13 more days left in the month of January, Marty. It's the month where we invite Nation to redeclare, renew, re-own those January goals that you've put aside. We have our Creator Athlete AI course available for those that are curious. And we got some things launching next week as well, maybe the League of Business Athletes that we're playing with. But a lot of things coming out of the house with Keith and CmartyFit. Brad, before we say goodbye, what's going on for you today, pal?
So I've got a couple meetings later on today, but again, my wife has got the nasty case of COVID. So if there needs to be something with taking care of them kids, I'm going to do that. So I may have to move some stuff around. But if we get into
Daddy
the afternoon,
duty.
I'll take them. If we take them, I'll take them to the pool. It's nice out today, so that will probably be later on in the afternoon. But otherwise, I got to prepare for a big night tonight, slashing, and just I think I'll take a break on Father's Day. So
That's awesome. Brad, you have been an exceptional guest. I love that you've played along with me with the humor today. And, I'll tell you something, my friend. Marty and I say this all the time. Once a guest of the lab, always a friend of the lab. Our doors are always open, my friend, except between the middle of the night because Keith and Marty are sleeping and we don't want to get slashed. But, I don't know if you make it across the border up here. But anyways, you're welcome here anytime, my friend. I enjoyed the fact that we made your profession, HR, a lot of fun just through our conversation today, and I'm really, really grateful for that. The future popped in. Yes, future, you've been here for almost a month. Thank you for your support. That's spectacular. Euros start in the morning, 7 a.m. early for a Saturday morning. Oh yeah, that's right. And Marty, Brad, especially Marty here, I want to just kind of call us out. We cannot continually successfully do this without you guys tuning in. Right. And we're seeing the numbers go up every single day. We're seeing the engagement go up every single day. We have a big goal here to create the world's largest live conversation right here on LinkedIn and all the social platforms. And we absolutely cannot do it with your guys' engagement. So I really want to sincerely say thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the feedback. Thanks for knocking on Marty's door. Thanks for liking our comments and engaging with us along the way. We're just getting started. We're just getting started with this. We got big visions for the show. And like I said, we can't do it with everybody tuning in. So we thank you for that. And Marty, before we say goodbye, what's going on for you today, pal, and for the weekend? You going to celebrate some Father's Day?
Yeah, I celebrate Father's Day, and I'm chilling, man. I got nothing really. Just probably hang out with my friends a little bit.
Cool.
But that's about it.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, Nation, well, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to go get Marty, I got to run today, man. It's my Friday. I'm going to go do a run, which I hate to do, but I'm going to go run towards the fire. I'll send you my results. Brad, I hate to run, but I'm going to run today. It's what I do on Fridays. It helps stimulate the brain to, do the things I hate doing. And you're right, Enzo. Hey, Enzo, is it Father's Day? No, isn't it Father's Day in September there, Marty? Is that what you said?
September there, yeah. He was saying it to you, I think, and
right.
and Jason. Sorry.
That's it.
I mean, Brad. I'm playing.
That's it. All right, let's get out of here. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you guys on Monday. Mornings in the Lab, myself, CmartyFit, and another week full of guests in January. Brad, have a good one, pal. See you guys.
Take care.